Sir, there's been a report of another raiding party pillaging villages in the Western Kingdom. Those blasted trolls, who are these brutes and where are they coming from?
Let's find out together on this episode of LEGO Tavern Talk. As today's Brick Monarch shirt would suggest, today we're deep diving into the LEGO fantasy era of trolls. Not those guys, I mean the good ones. There we go. Before we get into the lore, let's take a quick recap of the timeline. While the fantasy era of LEGO Castle started in 2007, the trolls wouldn't appear until January of 2008 with the release of 7036, Dwarf's Mine. The set includes 2 troll warriors with exclusive helmets and 1 large stand troll with copper armor. The troll faction would be present in 8 more sets that year, including 1 insane chessboard and the 2008 Castle Advent Calendar. Up until this point, the only leader in the faction was the troll captain. In 2009, we saw 3 sets released that featured trolls: King's Battle Chariot, Troll Battle Pack, and the Trolls Mountain Fortress. Trolls Mountain Fortress kept the modular system of fantasy era of castles, but had its own visual identity that made it distinct. The fortress also introduced the Troll King and Troll Sorceress, also called the Troll Queen in LEGO Worlds, 2 more leaders in the faction. The Troll faction was also referenced in the Forest Man and the Elf CMF bios, but would not be mentioned again until the announcement of the 2023 Orc CMF. This figure features a familiar yet updated shield and signet. The trolls come in 3 forms: the Troll Warrior, the Giant Troll, and the Internet Trolls. A LEGO Club magazine gives us a glimpse into the Troll Warriors' background and goals, stating that
these wicked warriors travel the world on land and sea, robbing the peaceful villages and their gold everywhere they go. All they care about is loot and plunder. And fighting. Watch out for the Troll Captain, the meanest of the bunch.
LEGO.com also had a small lore deep dive into the Troll Warriors.
Gold and plunder. A disorderly, disobedient band of thieves and mercenaries. The greedy trolls travel the world in search of wealthy kingdoms to loot. When the evil wizard asked them to help him conquer the castle, they were only too happy to join him in exchange for promises of gold, jewels, and other riches. Though cowards on their own, they act much tougher in a group, especially when they have a giant troll to back them up.
I have a theory that there may be more trolls out there besides the ones seen in fantasy era sets. If the trolls are world travelers, perhaps the CMF Orc is simply a member of a troll warrior tribe in a different part of the castle world, while the trolls we know have taken up residence in the wizard's domain. The troll warriors have a few different looks. There were several different torso prints, and each troll wore a helmet of metallic copper or speck black silver. Some even wore pearl dark gray shoulder armor or tattered brown cloaks. Troll warriors could be armed with bronze or silver scimitars or spears. Their shields were squared off and used the same but studless shield pieces as Knight's Kingdom 2. By combining these accessories, you were truly able to create some unique warriors of different ranks and roles. LEGO Club also provides a description for the giant trolls, stating that the giant trolls from the mountains may not be very smart, but they're incredibly strong. Each one is as powerful as 10 smaller trolls, or knights. If you want one to do something for you, try offering it a roasted turkey leg. Giant trolls are always hungry. LEGO.com also had character bios for the giant trolls.
Smash! Giant trolls are huge and amazingly strong, but also very slow and clumsy. Whether pulling their heavy war machines or swinging their massive clubs at anything brave or foolish enough to face them, they are nearly unstoppable in the battle. Fortunately, they're so dim-witted that sometimes they forget who they're fighting and start clobbering warriors on their own side. Giant trolls had either sand green or dark tan skin, and wore either copper or black armor. Those with black armor featured a tattoo of their faction. The giant trolls carried large clubs and were able to pick up minifigures. They were often seen acting as drummers on troll warships, defending fortresses, or acting as beasts of burden for the trolls' mighty war machines. The banner of the Troll Warriors features a skull with a massive underbite. This is likely a troll skull considering the trolls themselves have an underbite. While the trolls sport their emblems on their buckles and shields, you can now wear it on the newest shirt from our sponsor, Brick Monarch Shop. Brick Monarch Shop has amazing castle t-shirts, including their new fantasy era line. You can also find hoodies, wall-mounted shields, stickers, and LED lights. Click the link below and get 10% off your order at checkout by using code BRICKING10. Compared to the other factions in Fantasy Era, the Trolls had a bold and unique look. The Troll faction's building machines were crude wooden constructions adorned with bones and dark red spikes. Compared to the smooth walls of the King's Castle, the Troll faction took an almost scrappy look. This would make sense considering the Trolls were from beyond the Northern Sea. Their constructions were made far more recently and with much less resources than the prior faction in the Western Kingdom. The Troll's fortress even looks like a cruel imitation of the King's Castle, with a similar layout but a far more barbaric appearance.
This often works to the set's advantage. No matter which way you look at it, the build looks complete and visually interesting from any angle. When compared to other sets where they're meant to be seen primarily from the front, the sets that featured the trolls truly stood out. While they're said to not be that bright, the trolls developed some outlandish and truly intimidating war machines. Their siege towers were massive and were outfitted with a gnarly dark red battering ram. The troll assault wagon was a metal-clad menace with a powerful projectile weapon. Perhaps the most iconic siege weapon was the Troll Battle Wheel, a giant wheel built to flatten enemy soldiers. They may not have made a lot of sense, but they were so cool. The trolls even had a warship outfitted with a ballista. Through LEGO magazines, we can discover more details about the lore of the troll faction. After the evil wizard failed to defeat the Crown Knights with his undead army, he hired the trolls to help mount another attack against the Western Kingdom. Another detail can be found on this map from a LEGO Club magazine. The trolls come from the distant shores of the wizard's domain, north of the Skeleton Tower and near the Northern Sea. The map goes to state that only the boldest explorers set sail on the stormy waters of the Northern Sea. Considering the trolls live along the shores of the Northern Sea, it would explain their skill as seafarers, and would make them an even greater threat to the other factions. The trolls are also described as greedy, attacking others with raiding parties for plunder and loot. According to the CMF Elf, these raiding parties have been able to reach as far as the Elf lands. To learn more about these mysterious lands, you can check out this video that I did about them. Because of sets of magazines, we know that the trolls have successfully captured a dwarf and the king and queen of the Western Kingdom. Wait, didn't the princess get captured by the evil wizard? The Western Kingdom really needs to protect its royalty. The trolls have a special place in my heart, a truly unique faction. It was the only time we saw an orc-like faction in LEGO Castle. Despite their outlandish and barbaric designs, it was still rooted in the world of fantasy era sets. Even without the traditional castle designs, colors, and shapes, there was nothing that felt out of place. It even worked to expand the world of the fantasy era. Perhaps someday we'll see a faction like this return. Until then, take this time to peacefully fortify your kingdom and prepare for our next episode of LEGO Tavern Talk.